Good evening. I'm Greg Crawford with the Friday News Dump from World News Trust. Okay, now let me get this straight. This is the 21st century, right? Okay, so why is it that there is still a disturbing number of males, they don't deserve to be called men, who think it's perfectly all right to sexually assault women? Now, a brave neighbor in Cleveland, Ohio recently freed 3 young women who had spent a decade in confinement and who were subjected to savage degradation by an unspeakably evil psychopath. As a result, the subject of what is appropriate behavior from men and boys toward those of the female persuasion has once again been pushed to the forefront of our collective consciousness. But there was also an incident of sexual assault committed by, get this, an Air Force officer who commanded a unit whose task it was to investigate sexual assaults in the military. You can't make this stuff up. Those are just 2 of the most widely reported incidents in 1 week. There were undoubtedly thousands more that were either ignored by police, underreported, or completely unreported by the victims who figured, hell, the legal system is just going to victimize me all over again anyway, so why bother? Now, our culture reveres pathological selfishness. Oh, yeah, they'll dress it up by calling it rugged individualism or by referring to the lying, thieving weasels as the smartest guys in the room. I got a newsflash for you. Nobody who intentionally sabotages the national economy to enrich themselves is smart. Treacherous sociopaths, yes. Smart, not so much. But inculcating that same perverted self-reverential attitude is what makes a young basketball player believe that he's entitled to have his way with a girl whether she likes it or not. Or to make members of a high school football team think it's hilarious to drag a naked, unconscious young woman from party to party so their diseased friends and admirers can tweet pictures of the poor girl's humiliation. And as evil as those little turds are, we should have particular contempt for the students and parents who would vilify these girls as sluts when the crimes their children committed were exposed. Now, these are just 2 of the horrifying number of situations in which victims have been ostracized and threatened because they had endangered the athletic career of an arrogant jock or an entire team of arrogant jocks. And there should be a special ring of the inferno reserved for those who abuse their positions of power and influence by trivializing such heinous crimes with remarks like, "A woman's body has ways of shutting that whole thing down," when referring to pregnancies resulting from rape, or blaming the victim for the way she dressed, or simply going out at night, or just because she's too pretty. But the deepest, darkest pit of hell is for the lowest of the low, the pig excrement that would murder a woman because she'd been raped and call it an honor killing, or the subhuman mutants that pervert their religion in order to justify shooting a little girl in the head because she wanted an education. But let's return to those in positions of power in this country. Despite their incessant noise about freedom and patriotism, anyone with the brains of a potted plant knows that conservatives hate democracy. Even a cursory review of their antics in local, state, and national legislatures makes that contention hard to refute. But they can't just come right out and say it. So one of their most successful feats of misdirection is to demonize that segment of society that their brain-dead base of ignorant white males fears most: women. They get these misogynistic dirtbags all revved up by telling them that women who want equal pay are just out to steal their jobs, that a perfectly legal medical procedure is a crime against their vindictive Old Testament concept of God, and that only women who sleep around would ever need or want contraceptives. Attacking the rights of women makes it easier for them to attack the rights of everyone, and in the new security police state, only the police and those who control them will have any rights. The rest of us should just assume the position. Thank you.